I take this opportunity to reaffirm Jamaica's commitment to the principal objectives of CARICOM, including the expansion of trade and investment opportunities for its members, the promotion of foreign policy coordination and structured functional cooperation.
CARICOM Chairman, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, pledging his support for the regional body. We here at the JIS will continue to share all of the major outcomes from Jamaica's 6-month chairmanship of CARICOM. You're tuned to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson, your host for today's show. We have a lot lined up for you, so please stay with us.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 9. The Tourism Ministry is reporting that its quick, aggressive, and sustained interventions to counter some effects of the enhanced security measures in St. James have proven successful. At a press conference on Friday, the Portfolio Minister announced overall market growth of 5.4% for the first 6 months of 2018. That's due to stopover arrivals increasing by 5.9% and cruise by 4.8% compared to the same period last year. The over 100,000 more tourists who visited the country contributed to a sizable increase in foreign exchange earnings. Minister Bartlett says strong on-the-ground marketing engagements are what helped to not only prevent any fallout from the security measures, but also increase growth in arrivals. Jamaica is among 6 regional countries to have signed an agreement allowing free movement for spouses and dependents of CARICOM nationals, contingent on their loved ones being in possession of approved skilled certificates. Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the leaders of Barbados, Haiti, Suriname, St. Lucia, and Grenada signed the Protocol on Contingent Rights on Friday. It allows the spouses and dependents to also access basic social services such as health and education, which would be afforded to their loved ones within the free movement regime under the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME.
This is a matter that has been long outstanding and is a major step that should encourage greater use of the free movement regime as it ensures greater level of comfort and peace of mind for families.
The signing took place on the final day of the 39th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference in Montego Bay.
For this protocol to have been signed today is the most significant event in the history of Caribbean affairs since the single market was signed here in Jamaica and came into effect here in Jamaica in 2006. This is where it matters. This is where it makes a difference to the lives and decisions of people.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who is the new CARICOM chairman, also praised the fact that the regional heads have agreed to put legislative framework in place by December 31 this year to facilitate all 10 approved categories of skills under the free movement regime. In the meantime, Jamaica and Chile will benefit from shared expertise in sports over the next year. The two countries signed a declaration of intent on July 7, providing for local coaches to travel to Chile and conduct sports clinics in track and field. In return, Chilean coaches will come to Jamaica to conduct training in gymnastics, field hockey, and tennis. The document was signed by Foreign Affairs State Minister Pernell Charles Jr. and Chile's Under-Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Alfonso Silva Navarro. The signing followed bilateral talks between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and President of the Republic of Chile, His Excellency Sebastián Piñera.
I know that our discussions on these and other topics will certainly advance Jamaica's goal of driving economic growth and job creation and developing the country's overall sustainable development agenda.
We have so much to learn in sports from Jamaica. We want to run as a Jamaican. Someday we will be able to achieve that. That's why this commitment to help each other in terms of how to share good practices and good experiences in sports will be extremely helpful.
Chile and Jamaica established diplomatic ties more than 50 years ago. In other news, preparatory works have begun to ratify 2 international conventions and amend the Jamaica National Heritage Trust Act in a bid to protect the island's cultural heritage. The conventions to be ratified deal with the protection, repatriation, and illicit trafficking of cultural heritage. The proposed amendment to the JNHT Act would specifically address the trade in cultural material. Culture Minister Olivia Grange told Parliament last week that the ratification and amendment are even more important as a team from the JNHT recently unearthed artifacts from the island's first inhabitants. Among the Taino items recovered at White Marl in St. Catherine were 3 whole skeletons, 4 zemis, ceramic earthenware, pottery sherds, and tools.
This significant find adds to our understanding of and confirms our beliefs about the Tainos. For instance, 2 of the skeletons were found with bowls, food bowls, buried with food bowls. And we think that these bowls were filled with food and buried with the deceased as part of the Taino tradition aimed at sustaining the spirit in the afterlife.
Minister Grange says government is also working to repatriate Jamaican treasures that are currently in foreign countries. Among them, 3 wooden Taino zemis that are now in a British museum. And finally, 60 youth from the Zone of Special Operations in Denhamtown, Kingston are being prepared for the job market. The training is being carried out by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. It got underway on Wednesday with a registration, orientation, and motivational session. The job training will continue with a 5-day workshop from July 9 to 13 at the Labour Ministry's offices at 1F North Street. At the end of the session, the ministry will be hosting a mini job fair where employers will be coming in to interview these persons and hopefully select them for employment. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Areas of importance to young people include the right of free movement, and in particular, the right of skilled labor to move freely.
Giving Jamaican youth increased access to educational opportunities to make them more employable is a critical goal of the Andrew Holness-led government. One of the ways that is being fostered is through the Jamaica National Service Corps program. The first batch of 209 completed training and are now looking towards careers in the public and private sectors. Let's take a look back at the genesis of the program.
If you had the opportunity to learn a skill, earn while you're doing that, save from what you're earning, and give back to society, would you take it?
Well, yes. There's a lot of opportunity there.
So I believe being a part of this initiative is a good step.
These youngsters did, 250 of them. They are the first batch of recruits who will be trained by the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, this year under the newly instituted National Service Corps NSC program. Approximately 1,000 persons ages 18 to 23 are being targeted each year for professional development. They will benefit from military, vocational, and life skills training over the one-year period.
The government of Jamaica wants to leverage the incredible training skills of the Jamaica Defense Force, to use that to spread right across Jamaica, to get our young men and women who are seeking to develop themselves, who are looking for an alternative to the life that they now lead.
The training falls under the Learn, Earn, Give and Save program, or LEGS for short. The aim is to assist young people who, by virtue of their circumstances, are deemed vulnerable. So government, through the LEGS program, is engaging youth who are not enrolled in an approved educational institution or employed to find work and be trained in a marketable skill.
I'm glad to be a part of the start of this program because it's a wonderful one.
I just wish to be the change everybody talks about. This program have a lot to offer. You know, if you decide to choose a career path, this is the right path as well.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness met with the recruits just before they headed off to the JDF training facility at Newcastle. He encouraged them to make the best of the opportunity.
The success of the program depends on you. You are going to make this program successful for the others who will follow. How you take on to training, how you take on to national service, how you maintain the discipline and high standards of the Army, how you maintain the spirit of the Army, and how you give back to the society. This will determine whether or not the program is a success. And as I look around, I see eager young men, ready and willing to serve, ready and willing to take advantage of the opportunity you're given.
The training will equip the recruits with the ability to solve problems, manage stress, and lead healthy lifestyles. During the training period, recruits will undergo a modified version of the JDF's traditional basic military training. They will also undergo on-the-job training in various aspects of the JDF's operation units. These include the Coast Guard, Air Wing, and Engineering Unit. The recruits will also be trained in conflict resolution, communication, critical thinking, and general life skills.
It's actually a good step towards the future.
You get to learn a lot of skills and gain more knowledge than what you have got.
Upon completion of the program, participants will be given an opportunity to continue as soldiers in the JDF or join other government agencies.
I hope to achieve skills that will help me to take on the life that is set forth for my future.
Everyone wins at the end of the day. It's not just about a batch graduating to become a soldiers while others are just filtered back in the society. Everyone will be given an opportunity to do a work experience program at the end, which will allow them to be more qualified and more equipped for the world going forward.
This engagement of young people is a broader plan of the government to provide 25,000 work opportunities this year. So far, approximately 15,000 jobs have been identified through the formation of several core groups. These include the document management and digitization, environmental management, geographic information systems, infrastructure and construction, registration, verification and audit, hospitality core, as well as the National Service Enlistment Program of the JDF. At the end of their tenure,
your possibilities are endless. You would be far more employable than if you had not gone through this program.
The Prime Minister strongly believes that by involving youth in meaningful activities, it will reduce the chances of them being involved in illegal activities or even having the thought to do so. He pointed out that similar programs have been implemented in other countries, such as Israel, Switzerland, and South Korea, resulting in great discipline, orderliness, and togetherness.
We note that in those societies, crime and social disorder is low. But productivity and order and discipline and lawfulness is high.
This is the kind of transformation that's been targeted for Jamaica, as the government trains and employs thousands of youth each year.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop. Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think. Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences.
Act. Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review. Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
We must do everything in our power to ensure that the well-being of each of our citizens, as well as our economy, infrastructure, and territory, are protected from all real and present threats, such as the illicit trafficking in narcotics and firearms, trans-border criminal activities, and cyber attacks.
Here in Jamaica, the Cyber Incident Response Team in the Ministry of Technology is at the forefront of efforts to reduce the population's risk to cyber crimes. Take a look.
Cyber criminal activities are on the rise, affecting the lives of people worldwide, resulting in a need to increase the awareness of all citizens. The Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology has been making the internet more accessible to all of us, but with that comes greater responsibility.
As the government aggressively moves to creating the digital knowledge-based society, it is very important to ensure that citizens, businesses, everybody understands the responsibility that comes along with using technology. The government of Jamaica continues to move with help from the Universal Service Fund, which is an agency under the ministry, to broaden access to technology and the internet by creating public Wi-Fi services and deploying community access points. This is an effort to ensure that everyone has access to the internet and cyberspace.
The ever-increasing popularity of social media platforms and its dark side has prompted the Stop, Think, Connect campaign.
Stop, Think, Connect brings out general safety practices, and we encourage persons to stop and think. Actually, you find at times you're going to post a selfie, for example, and you take that selfie. We encourage you to stop and think before you actually post that selfie. Is it necessary to post? Do the people really need to see this? Do I really need to post this? What effect can it have in the future?
Stop, Think, Connect is not just geared towards our personal use of the internet. It should be incorporated in our work lives as well.
Cybersecurity in the workplace is everyone's business. A lot of institutions worldwide, and Jamaica is not excluded from this, have been impacted by ransomware and other malware. A lot of times what we find is that it's that end user that clicked on an email link, an attachment, or went to a website that they shouldn't have. We have to make an effort now to not only educate users, but actual persons at all levels within institution to be aware of the threat that is out there. Because when an organized cybercrime is coming, it's usually targeted at critical infrastructure.
critical infrastructure such as energy, water, telecoms, and media are just some of the targeted areas. Ignore pop-ups when they appear on your computer and never trust emails from questionable sources. By opening any of the following, you may be giving a virus a free access pass to your devices. There are several antivirus and anti-malware software on the market. Use them. And also remember to keep your private information private. Passwords, driver's license, national identification number, traveling and banking information should not be saved on public computers. Cybersecurity is our shared responsibility. Let's play our part. Stop, think, connect.
Jamaica's chairmanship will have a specific focus and intention, mindful of the rapidly evolving dynamics of our global world and the need for practical and effective responses to the changing realities. Our work will be undergirded by the theme, Building Stronger, Resilient, and Secure Partnerships for Prosperity. With this in mind, we will call upon all member states to summon the necessary political will and determination to ensure that all programs and initiatives are strategically focused and geared towards meeting an ambitious process of reform. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, given the ever-changing global dynamics, it is imperative that we undertake an honest and thorough assessment of whether the community is appropriately positioned to collectively advance economic cooperation for the mutual benefit of our countries and peoples.
By now, school is officially on summer break, but we know that as parents and guardians, you want the learning to continue throughout the period. Watch this and get some tips.
Wow, what a school year that was. The pickups, the drop-offs, the exams, the classes. Oh, I'm so glad for the break. Thank you, summer. But wait. All play and no work is just as bad as all work and no play.
Studies suggest that mathematics and reading suffer significantly during the long summer months when students are away from the classroom. We don't want our children to suffer from summer learning loss. We want to help them maintain their academic development and possibly learn new skills over the summer break. Here are some workable ways to prevent the summer slide. Summer school and camps are sure ways of keeping your child active during the break from school. Not only are they educational and recreational, they may also help grow your child's interest in a particular area. As parents, we should take the time to read, write, and spell with our children. That way, their minds are constantly engaged. For older children, have them write reports on the interesting books they've read. And with that, your children will be ahead of the class when they're asked to write an essay about their summer holiday. What's more, all the parish libraries have a summer program that your children can be part of. In addition to reading sessions, the library offers embroidery, art and craft, performing arts, games, tablet tutorials, and computer training. Math is all around us, so there's no reason for the learning to stop when classes end. On the road, you and your child can take turns making up math problems and answering them. At home, cooking and baking can help with measurement and fractions. You can create summer jobs for your child with house chores that you pay for in cash or kind. Children can also take up gardening. Items on the grocery list can be added, subtracted, and multiplied. Games are also a good source of incorporating math into your child's routine during the summer months. You could try football, cricket, hopscotch, card games, and dominoes. And not only do games keep our children's brains sharp, being physically active reduces their risk of becoming obese. Jamaica is awash with parks, museums, zoos, and other cultural locations. They can help your child with civics, history, and integrated studies. There are also cultural events taking place during the summer months, including emancipation and independence celebrations. Aside from learning about our culture, the most important benefit from these excursions is spending quality time with our loved ones. For children going to a new school or a new grade, introduce them to their new books. Have them read stories and practice math problems. Parents can also make flashcards with their children and by so doing, revise all that they've learned over the weeks. Children may explore their creative side by making a movie on a smartphone or tablet. There are also tons of free educational websites that can help children stay on top of their learning throughout the summer.
When I try these, my children will definitely be ahead of the curve.
Speeding through life and the traffic lights till somebody get hurt and the tears start cry. Save a life for the kids, for you and I, save kids' lives. Make the road safe whether day or night, for pedestrians, passengers, cars and bikes. Save a life for the kids, for you and I, save kids' lives.
Hey man, it's our job to keep the road them safe and protect care of the youth them so we know them safe and obey the road code. Don't race, no bother with the speeding case, make face and check your light them on your tires and brakes. Riders on the pillions who left the helmet. Put on the cell phone, no send no text, no matter what color they on your plate.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt for keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place when you're on the road.
Hey, follow me. Well, everybody drive good and walk good. Then teach the youth them how to cross good. I beg you obey the road signs, park good. And put the young ones in a car seats, all good. And everybody drive good and walk good. And we say young and old, I beg you cross good. Remember the dark clothes at night, that is not good. From you I use up the sidewalk, it's all good.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt to keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place when you're on the road. When you're on the road, when you're on the road.
And that's where we end our offering, but only for today. We return tomorrow around about the same time right here on this station. We are available at your leisure at jis.gov.jm. There's also our social media pages on all the major platforms. And we also have a mobile app for when you're on the go. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.